Hello friends, today we will be talking about email marketing basics. These are the things which we should ideally keep in mind while implementing our email marketing campaign, especially in B2B business. It is equally relevant for B2C business as well because ultimately the consumer has to be targeted. Apart from these basics, there are certain laws also which every country has their own, but we would not be touching upon them, though it also plays a very important role in in our campaigns. But as far as this video is concerned, we would be only talking about the basic tactics that we can follow from our end while implementing our campaigns. On right, you can see an email which is coming from John Doe from certain Susan Curator, and it has a specific subject line which says experience the work of a man. Now this is about one famous painter that an email has been sent from Square Gallery to the recipients to know about particular painter. The intentions behind this email, we can clearly see that they need to find they wanted to have a recipient more interested to know more about the manet, so that they get more engaged, and finally they would be leading them to buy a painting from their gallery. Now, points to be considered in this email are the targeted and personalization. Now, if you can see, it is straight away coming from John Doe. It is a part of a personalization. When you talk about two line, it is very important so that the person from which it is coming from, it can be related, it can be relatable to recipient. A person, if you receive an email from a marketing agency, if you are from any known person, it's highly probable that you will at least notice that email, and you will open that email and read the content. The relevancy of a content will obviously play an important part, but it comes secondary. First of all, the email has to be opened, and if you'll open an email or not, it will directly depend upon the few three things, like from where it is coming, what is the subject line, and what is the pre-header. These three things are the face of your email, so it becomes very important to have pretty specific on these three parameters. Personalization emails always help because in general we are getting a lot of emails from everywhere in this world, and if you have a personalized experience, it will always help to relate more to your recipient. You can have your better engagement. The recipient will feel the sender is somehow taking care of him. Somehow sender is can connect to him. Clear and compelling subject line we've already talked about. Branded email. When we are talking about B2B or B2C business, we are talking about engaging a recipient, and we are talking about nurturing them. Ultimately, that's what our prime objective of email marketing is all about. To have a consistency in your emails, with respect to design, with respect to layout, and with respect to credence as well, it becomes really beneficial when you talk about final metrics on email marketing campaign. Branded email will always have your logo on your on anywhere on any one specific point or position of your email, and certain layout which has to be common. It can be done in a pretty efficient manner if you templatize your email campaign. You design one template for a particular campaign and use that template throughout your campaign and throughout the customer journey, so that once it hits the email box of any recipient will identify this particular email is coming from particular sender, and it will have a the it will have it will be talking about this particular content. Call to action and easy subscription becomes very important because nowadays the recipient don't have time to go through and complete email and provide each and every information right at the first interaction of any from through any email. So whenever we are talking about call to action, if you can see the 6 bullet point out here, the learn about Marin, it clearly shows if you will click on the CTA what would be delivered to recipient. So it should be crystal clear. It can be it can be register, it can be learned as well. But if you'll only keep it learned, it will not identify the recipient will not be identify the clear purpose of the CTA. Now when if you're writing out learn about Manet, it clearly identify what this CTA will do. So the instructions and the final deliverability, the expectations of the recipient has to be made clear what he will be getting if he clicks the CTA. Subscription we'll talk about in this video later. Double opt-in. Now there's a single opt-in and double opt-in. Single opt-in is just about if I'll place a subscription box in this email that you please subscribe to this email, and getting emails at regular interval of time. That is simple single opt-in process. Now there are few countries which are double opt-in, which says as per their laws that you need to get a confirmation from recipient whether he really wants to get a subscription or not. So in that you need to send out explicit mail to the email sender recipient email, so that he reconfirms that he actually wanted to have your subscription. So that is a double opt-in. It is just a way to filter out spamming from the email box, because nowadays there are so many email providers, and there are so many marketing activities going on, which is unnecessarily bombing out email box of recipient, which obviously any country and or any recipient will also not like. Your email should have a company info, because it clearly identifies your goal. It is very essential. It is very helpful in to make your content relevant to the to relatable to the recipient as well. For any promotional email, unsubscribe link is mandatory. You cannot force somebody to keep on receiving your email. You will always have to provide the door through which recipient can opt out from your marketing campaign, which will obviously help to maintain an email preference block at your end as well. Don't spam. You will have to send only relevant content at regular interval of time only. You cannot just bomb any recipient with any irrelevant content, because it will never do any good to you. He will simply put your email into spam, and your whole marketing effort uh, will be in loss. There are more implications to it as well. Your sender IP address can also be blocked. Few practices which has been identified by major agencies about the timings of scheduling an email. It has been found that Tuesday, Thursday, and Wednesday 10 a.m. PST. We are talking about 10 a.m. PST, or it can be at local time as well. Or rather, say it is better to say it at local time, 10 a.m. local time. If it depends on a country which you are sending out emails, it's always better to send them on Tuesday, Thursday, and Wednesday at 10 a.m. Develop a cadence. It should be a regular interval of time. And finally, last but not the least, you should always track your result and matrices, because until and unless you know the result of your campaign, you will not be able to improvise in your strategies, and you will not be improvise in your content, which is highly recommendable. Now, what good email is all about? It's not only about the delivering a useful content. It is about the tone as well. What tone you are in which tone you are delivering your content to the subscriber. Like if you are talking about any bonanza, or you're talking about any festival, the tone, it should be something like which has a feeling, which should have a feeling coming out of is tone. And wow, here's a something new which is coming. Wow, we have a bonanza coming. So your tone talks lot about your email. Based on what you know about the recipient, it is always recommended to have a homework in anywhere, in any field in this world. That concept applies here as well. You don't have to send any email to any of the audience. You need to learn from your prior experiences with that lead, that what is the content which is relevant to you, what is their behavioral process or behavioral tendency, how they react, on what all the product, what are the interest point of that particular lead. You need to identify that, and you have to provide the content as per that only. Sign-ups. When you are asking to sign up to any recipient, you need to take care of few the points, because you are not something which you are doing a charity, and you should not expect the recipient will simply come and subscribe you. You have to sell your proposition to him. Figure out what you can offer that will be value to that readers. There are a lot of information coming available on internet, so don't expect that you will always be providing a very peculiar sort of information to them. You should always emphasize on few the major point which you are offering as a niche proposition to the recipient, so that it can be valuable for readers. What is your superpower? What is that you are coming into? What is that? What you are bringing to the table? What is the difference between you and your competitors? What can your organization offer that no one else can? What can you tell people, teach people, connect people with that no one else can? See, every time selling does not help. You can always be helpful as well. Your email can also help recipient to be more informative about their research about their products. At least, if not all, it will help you to maintain your rapport with the recipient, and sooner or later the recipient will definitely have engagement with you. Your subscription page should have a minimal fields that we have touched in first slide. Now we talk about the basic features which your subscription page can have. Don't ask recipient to fill in too much information in your subscription form, because it might be it might be, made him some uncomfortable if you provide if you'll ask for lot of information. Now there are a lot of tools available at the browser where you can collect cookies and all those things to find an information. So what all information are already there with you, you don't have to ask it again and again. And at least when you're asking them to subscribe to any subscription or any of your product, you should you should ask for a least amount of information. Like in this particular example, he has just mentioned what is the purpose and what you will be getting out of when you will getting this that subscription. Enter your email and we will send you the latest news and promotion. So it has clearly been called out that you will get latest news and promotions for OLT. So it clearly talks about that what would be the end product of the subscription. What he is asking, he has just spelled out, enter your email address and submit. So only it's a simple, crisp and clear example of subscription form which only asks for email address. It talks about what is going to be delivered, and it is just a clear call to action: submit it and you will be done. So this is very efficient manner to ask for a subscription, because it doesn't make recipient to go into much detail. It will be crystal clear and crisp. Once you have done all those things, it becomes very important to check out whether your email has actually been opened or read, or what has been action taken on your email, what has been finally ROI of your email. To do that, we have certain metrics like open rate, click through rate, bounce rate, and subscribe rate. Open rate clearly shows about the number of person who have opened your email, and from the people you have sent it to. It's a simple calculation that you can identify how many have opened the email at least. Click through rate, how many have clicked through the link, and your email contains link, how many have actually clicked to that link, how many have bounced and how many are unsubscribed. These metrics become really important to analyze the pain points of your marketing campaign, from where you're lagging out. For an example, if your open rate itself is a low, there is no point of changing your content straight away, because your email is not even getting opened right now. So there has to be some problem with your subject line or your pre-header or your sender profile. So you need to first work out on these three aspects rather than jumping straight away onto your content, because the consumer has not even opened your email, so the your content is not even came into picture. Now if you're getting the open rate is your high, but you're not getting a click-through rate, now it shows that there is some issue with your content. There might be some issue with your content. Now you need to find out what are the pain points in your content. If you're getting open rate is high but click rate is low, that means your email is getting comfortably open. People are opening your email. That means your subject line, pre-header and sender profile are working perfectly fine. It is pitching the right chord of an audience. But if your click-through rate is not coming out good, that means there is some issue with your content. It has to be more relevant. It has to be worked upon. Bounce rate. It means it is very important to check these bounce rate, because it shows your reputation of your sender profile. That means the either the recipient email box or the sender email box is not having that reputation good. That's why the emails are getting bounced. Now the bounce is also depend is also categorized in soft and hard bounce, that we will talk in further videos. But in nutshell, hard bounce is something like which is like the email address is not valid, or the or the server is not server has been blocked. So the issues which cannot be sorted out anyhow in near future comes into hard bounce category. And if something like the soft bounce is like email recipient box is full, so it can be easily sorted out. You can try it out after 48 hours and it can again be delivered. Unsubscribe rate, the people who are subscribed, that means people are not getting relevant information from your newsletter or your subscription content. That means you need to redefine your content. So it's a alarming situation. So all these four metrics is not it's not a complete set of metrics. It is just a few important metrics in complete email marketing campaign, which which points a specific aspect of your campaign and ask you to concentrate on few on specific stages of your email marketing. These are few tips which you can implement to get your emails read. As we already discussed, subject line, keep it short, share what's inside. It should be crisp and clear. Relationship, what actually value you are providing to the consumer, what actually you have relationship with the consumer, how to maintain the relationship. So you need to actually engage the relationship only. Ultimately, the time and day is very imperative. We have already discussed about the 3 days which are very important, but it can vary to geography also. It depends on your business as well. So you need to analyze your past data, your past open and close, open and click matrices that we have just discussed, and you will find out a pattern. Basis that pattern, you can possibly plan your future campaigns. Volume of an email, it should not be bulk, it should not be so that the bombing, it should not be the bombed effort. It has to be a planned and strategical implementation of a campaign. List cleanup is very essential, because every now and then you will find your unsubscribed people and you need to clean them from your database. You need to filter out those guys and put them aside, and you need to identify what has to be done with those guys who have unsubscribed. So your database has to be regularly cleaned. Now this is a simple example that what you might be doing good and what it can be done to do it much better. Like in this particular email, if you see, there are buy tickets, but buy tickets is simply a link. Now it can be a CTA can be a more compelling in comparison to just having a link. The image which is very large, it can be slightly small, and then the clear info, the dates and price can be more broader, so that it can be hit and trial method, but few basics are there, like buying buy tickets can be a CTA, like that. So at the last, I'm again requesting you to please post your questions and comments so that I can improvise more on my content. I'm